Oh, hello there. Don't be alarmed. We're just preparing your listening device for Scuba Radio, the world's first radio show devoted to diving. We do this, of course, by filling the radio with water. Don't worry, we're professionals. Thanks to me, you won't even get wet. You see, I've crammed every appendage of my body into the cracks and crevices of your radio, ensuring an airtight seal. By the way, don't touch your on-off knob. That's a very sensitive area. Anyway, I should remind you, we believe in the buddy system just like diving, so don't listen alone. Call your buddy and tell them that Scuba Radio is about to begin.
We're gonna start a new life under the sea.
So, am I gonna drown?
Of course not. Just stay calm and let the gentle currents relax your every muscle.
Under the sea, under the sea.
Did it just get warmer?
There'll be no accusations, just friendly crustaceans under the sea.
Where the hell are the sharks?
And now, here's your dive guide for Scuba Radio, Greg the Dive Master.
And welcome. This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. I got CJ in the studio with me.
What's up?
With that,
I barely made it.
you better. Yeah, what were you doing?
I was just chatting, talking to your wife.
Oh, okay. Just getting a little cocktail, a little social lubrication.
We got
going as
talking,
well.
and I went, "What time is it?"
It's showtime. Don't sound too excited.
Here we go.
Okay, it is what it
Here
is.
we go.
So Cock Johnson has to
Blast
get.
off.
Yeah, you're very low key. It's like, late night last night?
No, not really. No.
No, not at all. Okay, just haven't drank enough. Scuba Radio happy hour is not kicked in yet, huh?
It's fine.
All right. Well, it's working. It's in its infancy, but it'll kick off soon enough. We got a lot to cover today. There's been so much going on since the last show.
I saw your silly text.
What do you mean, my silly text?
I don't want to talk about it yet because you're not there yet, but you know what you sent.
Well, I sent a lot of stuff. We got the 50-year anniversary of Jaws to celebrate today a
that
little
was
bit.
one of them, but
Yeah. What?
the show, the Netflix thing.
Yeah, we got to talk about that. There's a new TV show we're going to address. But
That looked pretty cool, actually.
yeah, we'll talk about that. And then, of course, last week we talked about a new term in diving that the Scuba Radio crew has coined. And we talked about this towards the end of the show, and I think we're going to attempt to take it to another level today. And that, of course, was the story of the scuba douche.
I'm trying to remember what that was.
Yeah, you had blocked it out, haven't you? But
yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
well, we'll catch everyone up here in just a bit. But let me bring the Scuba Radio Scuba Squad on first. That would be Barry the Bugger, Casey the Tobacco Nut, Jerry the Diver Guy, Vinny Two Tanks, and to offset all of this insanity, we have Mermaid Morgana on with us today. All the way from Bonaire, I believe, right? Is that where you are today, Morgana?
Absolutely. That is where I am today. And if I'm responsible for the sanity part of this show, we're already mastered.
God help us. Yes. But trust me, you're a major upgrade. I mean, just look at those people around you, on that you can see on, Facebook Live, Twitch.
Can you
YouTube,
feel the
X.
love?
Now she
I mean,
doesn't.
I like it.
She doesn't
We
want to
get
feel
it.
anything from you.
Yeah.
I'm sure of
And
that.
we're the beast. We get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Even Jerry the Diver Guy doesn't know what to say.
It took him a minute to get started.
Yeah, less than
what?
that. I think 30 seconds to start the work.
He
Start
does
to
Missiles
work.
away.
actually.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what's going on.
I
I
have
think
no
they
idea
don't appreciate being insulted right away.
Yeah, what's wrong with you people?
You give us 5 minutes to breathe.
No,
You're on the
God,
wrong radio show.
Exactly.
I guess so.
Yeah, Morgana doesn't. She hadn't been on that much. She knows the routine. Jeez, guys.
I briefed
Yeah, but
her
she's-
before you came on.
And she's hiding on a beautiful island.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You live on Bonaire now, right?
I do
Morgana?
live on Bonaire
That's
now.
pretty
Yeah,
sweet.
it's a lot easier to listen to Greg talk when you live on a beautiful island.
Well,
Right.
okay. It's
And
a,
he's
This is
stuck in
true.
his little, yeah.
yeah. She has quite the distraction, and yeah. So you have relocated to Bonaire, the shore diving capital of the world. There, have you been out there diving much yet, or are you still relatively new, or what's
I
been going
actually
on?
haven't been diving at all. I've
Really?
been to the ocean briefly, but no, me personally, I have not been diving yet. But I will. I think I'll do it a great deal of my time. But what had happened was when you move internationally, the thing you do is you put all your stuff in a shipping container,
Yeah.
and then someone ships that with a ship. A lot of
Right.
shipping going on.
Yeah.
And we timed it beautifully so that all of my stuff, including all of my dive equipment, would arrive about, a day or 4 after we arrived. And then delays happen as they so often do. And I don't have any of my stuff.
Of course. Well, what do you need? You're in Bonaire. All you need is your bathing trunks and a snorkel.
Bathing
Definitely
trunks?
recommend-
Trunks, Greg.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well,
Greg likes to fantasize about just bathing trunks.
Yeah, this is not 1920s, where you wear that full bathing suit from top to bottom.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
nothing wrong with that, actually, I guess, if that's what you choose to do.
well, I mean,
Greg.
look at Barry, Jerry, Vinny, and Casey. The more material, the better. So
Well, I don't know if you've ever been diving here before, but they
Yeah.
do recommend like this new thing called a BCD.
if you want to dive, right?
All of my equipment is in my shipping container.
Oh well, you need that. But you could snorkel too. I mean, there's some
yeah,
really
absolutely.
great snorkeling right there.
Hey, Greg, I have an idea.
Okay, Casey, the tobacco nut. What say
You
you?
could reach into that discard pile behind your studio there and send her a new one.
That's right.
But
He
she
has
would have
all
the
those
same
goodies
problem.
He's got, and he won't share.
She had.
I don't think he and I wear the same size.
Well, you'd be surprised. I've trimmed down quite a bit, but
Right.
no. I mean, well, you'd have the same problem.
What'd you do? Let the air out of your head?
Ooh, there we go. The rebuttal came
very
in.
fine line.
Shots
Yeah.
fired.
Yeah.
Paybacks.
Oh, it's coming, my friend. Oh, it's coming your way.
Jerry, all right.
Okay. So, anywho,
Jerry 1, Greg 0.
all right, that's enough. Morgana actually is working with a new dive shop. We got to talk about that. But yeah, just so you're prepared when you finally do get your gear and start diving in Bonaire, you might actually learn something from today's show, from this new term that we coined last week. And this, I got to give props to Mermaid Kristen, whether or not she wants to take credit for it or not. She could take credit, she could take blame, but it all evolves from a little episode that she had with a diver she encountered that had a tendency to be a little braggadocious.
What, a diver? No.
Yeah, hard to believe, isn't it? And sometimes divers got to pull back a little bit and not be so, I don't know, abrasive. And basically, this guy comes on the boat and he starts saying, "Oh, this diving's great," and stuff. But boy, you should see the diving over on this other island I've been to. It was amazing. And it was like some island in the Caribbean, fine, maybe like Turks, Caicos or something like that. Decent place. But he was a little bit like kind of downplaying what they had just seen. Like, "Oh, you haven't seen nothing until you've been to this island in the Caribbean or something." And then she turned to him and just said something like, "Have you ever been to Fiji?" And then he just kind of like, no.
Good for her.
Yeah. So she kind of, slapped it back on him, but he said, he's kind of a scuba douche. And I'm like, really? I said, I never considered that as a term. And that might be an appropriate term because I've encountered that both male and female. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, I think this term is non-gender specific because I've been on trips where I've had female divers, male divers come up after a dive and start mouthing off and explaining that, "Oh, yeah, that dive was okay, but it was nothing like what I did, when I was over, in Bonaire or some other place."
Nobody asked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's
like,
the one-upmanship.
right.
Ugh.
And it's kind of a lame thing to do. I mean,
Wasn't there a second stage to that too? He also had like every new shiny gadget tacked to his BC.
yes, he might have a few extra toys that are not necessary. I don't know. But we're going to define this term. So when you encounter such a thing, you'll know what to call them. And maybe you'll have a little tune to sing to them as well. That's coming up on the world's first radio show devoted to diving, whether you like it or not.
This is the Worldwide Scuba Radio Network.
Come as a guest, leave as a friend. It's a philosophy that comes from the top down at Explorer Ventures liveaboards. It doesn't matter if you're traveling solo, with a buddy, or group. Explorer Ventures does the liveaboard dive experience right. For proof, know Explorer Ventures has one of the best repeat customer stats in the dive industry. They're also the official liveaboard company of Scuba Radio. You've likely heard us talk about Explorer Ventures Scuba Radio scuba cruise trips many times, and we invite you to join us on the next one. However, whether we're on board with you or not, I'll bet an Explorer Ventures liveaboard trip will be one of the best dive experiences you've ever had. It just doesn't get any better. Saba St. Kitts, Turks and Caicos, the Galapagos, Maldives, Indonesia, humpback whales, and the Silver Banks, new destinations and itineraries are being added all the time. Call one of their talented travel consultants to find the Explorer Ventures liveaboard experience that's just right for you. 1-800-322-3577. That's 1-800-322-3577. Or visit explorerventures.com. That's explorerventures.com.
Hey, baby, what's going down?
Later, nerd.
Are you lacking with the ladies?
Nope.
Enhance your scuba superpowers with a new ScubaRadio hat.
Wow, nice hat.
Just picked it up at ScubaRadio.com.
Buy 2 ScubaRadio hats and get free shipping.
Need a dive buddy, sexy?
Always. And I got a Scuba Radio hat for you, too.
New ScubaRadio hats are now available at ScubaRadio.com. So cool. Order yours today, or stay a loser.
Do you have a message or a product that you'd like to share with the diving world? Well, look no further than Scuba Radio. Just like you, thousands of diving enthusiasts are hearing this message, and we could be talking about you and your product or service as early as next Saturday. Remember, a terrible thing happens when you don't advertise. Nothing. Go to ScubaRadio.com, send us an email, and let's get to work to make your marketing message matter.
Prepare to rig for dive! Your surface interval is complete. You're now clear to dive with Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio.
Dive, dive, dive.
Hi, my name is Hayes. You are listening to Scuba Radio, the world's first radio show devoted to diving.
The genius of that.
Now here's Uncle Genius.
The genius.
Greg the Dive Master.
He's a genius.
Now give me my cookie, you idiots.
Okay. You got it, Hayes. Yeah, I had a little family get-together last week, and Hayes, my nephew, was nice enough to say that about me. I mean, all it cost me was a cookie.
Yeah.
God bless him. God bless him. But he nailed it. This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving, and I am Greg the Dive Master, a.k.a. Uncle Genius. That's what I'm known as in other circles.
I need to talk to that boy about rates.
What do you mean?
Cookie doesn't cut it.
Yeah, well,
and you played him for the cookie. You baited him.
Yeah, whatever it takes.
Forget it. He listens to the voices in his head.
Okay, well, yeah.
Was it at least a big cookie, a good cookie, or was it just some bread and butter schlep thing?
I got Casey the tobacco nut to be on the show week in and week out, and what did I give him?
A pecan sandy.
Really? I did?
I don't know.
I don't recall that. Maybe a little Debbie snack,
to be honest,
snack cake.
You've given me nothing but heartache.
Okay.
Grief.
Well, you're welcome. Well, I do whatever it takes. All right. And some people might put that in the category of being a scuba douche, but no, it's not. That's not a totally different animal. Term, whatever term you want to.
How can you put me in the term of scuba douche?
No,
we are all in
bright night, shiny new gear, coming back from Bora Bora, Fiji, and Maui, and every place else.
Well, look, okay.
I am not the scuba douche here.
Well, okay. If you haven't been to Fiji, you could come off a little harsh, jaded, or scuba douchey like.
No. You would be the scuba douche, teasing us with all your details.
It depends on how you do it. Like, once again.
Yeah, I thought about that too, Casey, but I think it's a little different. By him saying "suck it, losers,"
yeah,
that's him just trying to get us to go with him.
Right.
But
right.
He's not.
So we can
he's not
pay for his stuff.
He's not coming up. No, he's not coming up for a dive.
And calling the other people on the boat a loser. I'm calling you guys.
Yeah, he's
that
not
are
coming
not
up
with
from
me.
a dive and crapping all over the dive.
Yes, I don't
and
do
go,
that.
oh, it's better this place.
And I've been
very specific.
I've been very fortunate doing the show for 28 years. I've been able to dive around the world, and you could say that I could become a little jaded.
Your humbleness is it's almost sincere.
Thank you. But
I almost believe you.
I don't ever rain on anybody's parade on a dive boat because you may have done a dive 100 times at the same site. You might be the dive master on a boat down in the Keys or something, and you do this particular dive site day in and day out, and you go out with new people every day, and you come back from a dive, it's okay. You're like, whatever. I've done it. I've been there, done that. And then someone comes out of the water and like, oh my God, did you see that green moray eel? That was amazing. And it's like, well, yeah. If you went up there and kind of like said, well, yeah, it was no big deal. You should have seen it last week.
So you're saying when they talk down other people's enthusiasm.
Correct.
Wouldn't that be what a troll is?
No, it's a scuba douche. We're
but I'm saying is that in YouTube world, isn't that what they call trolls?
We're in scuba world, Barry.
No.
Yeah.
Scuba world.
Trolls do it just to get a reaction, but I think the quality of the scuba douche is that he's doing it to build himself up, make himself look better. Like, oh, that was nothing.
Okay.
I've done this. There's a one-upsmanship to it. Not just,
Bingo.
crap,
Just
but
for the
this crap
record,
is, I'm so cool.
It could be a female diver too, just to be equally offensive here.
In short, Barry, he's doing nothing but bragging.
Yeah,
right.
But it's not enough just to have a new term that we've helped coin for the industry. We actually have a song. Scuba douche, scuba douche. Braggadocious prick makes us all feel sick. Scuba douche. Scuba douche. Okay, that's one. I don't know. We probably shouldn't have
Didn't
played
you do
that.
that too?
Yeah, we probably shouldn't have played that. Now that I
You
love
said
that
that's
one.
Does that mean you have more?
You shouldn't have. Don't egg them on.
We have an alternate version.
Scuba douche, knows it all despite the truth. Far and wide, he'll say he's gone, but there's not much brain and too much brawn. Look out, here comes a scuba douche. This is a scuba douche. Don't be a scuba douche.
Okay.
Much better.
That one much better.
Barry,
Yeah.
all right. Morgana and Barry both like the second one.
I vote for 2.
All right, vote for 2. Fair enough.
Scuba douche, knows it all despite the truth. Far and wide, he'll say he's gone, but there's not much brain and too much brawn. Look out, here comes a scuba douche. This is a scuba douche. Don't be a scuba douche.
You thought once was enough?
No, God, no.
No, God, no.
Whoa.
What was that one?
I don't know.
Third one?
I don't know what that was.
I don't know.
No idea.
Operator error.
No, God forbid.
Too many buttons and lights on his console.
Not true. Not true at all. But anyway, so there you go. We got a song and the whole thing. Little jingle. And what you don't want to be is the one hearing that for the first time on the dive boat. And then like everyone dancing around you and pointing.
I think everybody here is pretty cool. I don't think there's any of them.
Well, there's Vinny. Vinny has a tendency.
You think he's been a scuba douche before?
Well, I don't know. It depends on how you do it. Wait, what did you do last week, Vinny, on summer vacation? I heard some things when you were out. You got to turn your mic on.
You muted yourself.
He was on, and then he was
eluded arrest.
Yeah, well, that's like every week. Yeah.
I heard about this term scuba douche, and so I never,
You went out to illustrate the.
And I never heard of it, so I got out my trusty The Complete Guide to
being a scuba
diving.
Oh,
comprehensive guide of the history and the art and science of scuba diving by Alex Brilski.
Yeah.
There's no term scuba douche in here.
What?
You got to update his Wikipedia.
I'm figuring this must be a new term that's just come up recently.
Well, no, we coined it here on Scuba Radio.
And actually, when I heard the song, I thought there was a line in there that described me perfectly. So I must be one.
Wait, which line was that? Do you
I can't remember. I have to
Braggadocious prick.
Yeah, right.
Makes us all feel sick.
I can't remember which one it was. Yeah, I didn't play it again. Something about being strong and
too much
so
brawn.
Strong.
Too much
Not
brawn.
Enough brawn and something else.
Do you think you're bulky?
I have no brawn and I'm not very bright.
I was going to ask you if you're laying on the creatine a little thick there, buddy.
Oh,
what do you bench?
What do you bench?
75,
Benny?
Oh, I can't pull my own body weight in a pull-up.
Okay, well that's good. That's good. Oh, jeez. I don't even know what to say now.
Hey, he's honest.
Yes, he is. That's not douchey at all.
Scuba Radio. Scuba Radio.
Scuba action star Mike Scott is back in a new audiobook, Cayman Cowboys, Reefs Under Pressure. From author Eric Douglas comes the one that started it all. Listen as Mike deals with submarines, kidnapping, betrayal, and more.
He didn't even have fins or a mask to let him see in the water. He was going to be slow and blind. If it weren't for the float, he knew there would be no way he would ever make it to the surface.
Download Cayman Cowboys or Oil and Water, Return to Cayman, Turks and Chaos, and Lionfish at Amazon, booksbyeric.com, and audible.com.
Power, simplicity, reliability. It's what you demand of your dive computer. And Shearwater delivers. Shearwater evolved out of one tech diver's need for a reliable, easy-to-use rebreather dive computer and quickly became the tech market leader. Now recreational divers have taken notice. The Shearwater Peregrine is a simple, full-color, multi-gas dive computer. It's also the most economical Shearwater dive computer released to date. Check it out and the entire line at shearwater.com. Shearwater. Dive computers for demanding divers.
Scuba Radio. Scuba Radio.
Prepare to rig for dive! Your surface interval is complete. You're now clear to dive with Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio.
Dive, dive, dive.
They got here. Portable shower or monkey cage? Anti-shark cage. Anti-shark cage. You go inside the cage. Cage goes in the water. You go in the water. Shark's in the water. Our shark. Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain. For we've received orders for to sail back to Boston. And so never more shall we see you again.
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. I am not a scuba douche, just for the record, but it is the 50-year anniversary of the release of Jaws, and so it's only appropriate to pay homage to that film. It kept me out of the water. I don't know if homage is the right word then. I mean, I was thinking about this the other day. Let's see, I was 12 or I think I was 12 years old when I saw Jaws with my uncle. Scared the bejesus out of me.
12. When did it come out? 75 or 73?
Like you were 10.
I think it was 12.
1975.
1975. I was 15.
Okay, then I don't know how old I was.
7.
Who cares? I was too young, and the theater was freezing, and it literally, up until that point, we used to go to Florida. I grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio, and we go down to Florida for summer vacation every year, and we go hang out at the beach. We go to Myrtle Beach. We go to Florida, that kind of thing. And I would play in the ocean, the whole thing. After I saw that movie, of course, like probably 99% of the rest of the population, I was like, oh, hell no, am I sticking my toes in that ocean? And that happened for at least the next 10 years.
I have never seen Jaws.
What? Morgana,
Did you
really?
Wait, did you read the book?
No, but just to back this up, you said
Yeah.
that movie is how old?
50 years.
And I am
20.
Not that old.
Yeah, no, I've actually never seen Jaws. I know I've seen clips of it. Like I've seen the thing with the barrels at the end.
Yeah.
But I couldn't pick it out of a lineup.
Yeah, well, I think you got the gist.
There is
it's
old
loosely
farts
based on a real story.
Loosely, very, very loosely.
There's a
But-
documentary.
Yeah, what, Barry? Go.
There is a documentary right now on Max about Steven Spielberg, and he talks about Jaws. And he said he had so many issues with that shark getting it to work.
Yeah,
right.
Bruce.
That what he ended up doing is he used the barrels. He said that saved his behind.
Yeah.
By just using those barrels and that music in the background, that's all you needed. You knew something was pulling those barrels. You assumed it was a giant shark, and that's how he was able to get away with a lot of those scenes. When you didn't see anything, he figured not seeing it was scarier than actually seeing it.
Just like the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, and I'm terrified.
Oh, I see. To this day, 50 years later, still having that.
It's not scary without the music.
That's right. I mean,
Me and
the
my
music.
friends love that movie.
I like it too. Actually, I love watching.
No, we
it.
were surfing in California.
Well, you were surfing
when
in
Jaws
California.
Came out,
yeah.
None of the tourists would go in the water. It was great.
Oh,
we had the whole ocean to ourselves.
Well, okay. There's yeah. And they're looking
a lot
at
of dive shops went out of business.
A lot. Well, it had a major effect on diving in a bad way for many years. Scared the crap out
So
of
the
a lot of people.
geographical thing didn't help at all. That was supposedly based in New England.
Yeah. Yeah, Cape Cod or whatever,
So,
something like
you're
that.
fine.
No,
in
it was Martha's Vineyard. That's where it was shot.
Yeah.
They call it Amityville Village.
Eat them all up,
Amityville.
who
or something.
cares?
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that.
Wait, that's the same place as that haunted house.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
my
know.
sister lives there. Amityville's on Long Island.
Right. No, Amity Island or something like that. They called it.
Oh, they had like 5 people die from a bull shark. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
No.
Well, you're
No,
talking
the
about
Great
the
White.
book.
I think it's the Great
Jaws was based on a real story. That's kind of what Barry was alluding to, and I think.
Yeah, that's a very famous real story. I've heard it.
And basically, what's the guy who wrote the book of Jaws? Not
Peter Benchley.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I actually interviewed Peter Benchley's wife before he passed.
Martha Benchley.
I don't know if it was Martha. I don't remember. But
As a drunk tourist.
But I kind of he was very regretful of writing that book.
He should be. He should be ashamed of himself.
So many sharks have been killed over the years because of Jaws.
He
And
might be
felt
the
very
ultimate
guilty.
scuba douche.
Well, no, because he actually did everything he could to create awareness for shark conservation. After that book came
Too
out,
late,
he was.
though.
A
A lot of people are watching the movie. Not a lot of people are watching his little.
Oh no, he really
his
tried
little,
hard. I
he
read
did.
about that.
No, he
tried
did.
really hard.
He
dedicated
felt-
his
But what I'm
life to
saying
the
is,
first-
a blockbuster, arguably the first ever "quote unquote" summer blockbuster.
Yeah.
Many
It's the
more
same
eyeballs on
problem.
that than anything he can do afterwards.
It's the same problem the guy that had like the alpha wolf theory for wolves has. That theory has gotten like he found out with a little bit further research that it's not true at all. There is no alpha wolf. That's not how any of this pack dynamic works. But to this day, we talk about alpha males and alpha wolves and everything. No matter all the science he puts out there, he can't get rid of that image.
Yeah. Well,
When was the last time you watched Jaws?
Last night, actually, for me.
No, you did not.
I did too. It was on TV. It was. I think it was on NBC last night. Why? Why do you ask?
Does anyone else find Richard Dreyfuss annoying as hell in that movie? I just want to punch him.
Well, just knowing how he is now.
He's
I
just
guess.
a little weasel. It's like, ugh.
It's hard for me to watch the movie and go, "That's the guy who's like."
Well, he was a scientist in that movie, so
Yeah, weaselly.
and I see him as like
douchey scientist.
a band, a maestro or something from that movie.
Well,
years
he's a
later.
diver, and he's a diver, isn't he?
I don't know if he is or not. Well, why do you ask, Jerry? If we saw Jaws
Well, the
recently,
last
why?
time I watched it was 5 years ago, and they had
Okay.
a special screening at a lake.
Yeah.
And everybody had to be on inner tubes to watch it.
Oh, seriously?
nice.
Oh, that would be great. Can you
That's
imagine
fun.
someone?
Better in the ocean.
And it was
though.
at nighttime, so
So did someone don some dive gear and just kind of swim around underneath him and grab a leg now and then?
no,
That would have
it
been
was
great.
pretty cool to
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, look at Jerry. Look, he's like, I did it. I did it.
Yeah,
I
look
was
at
there."
how red he is. Like oh wait, how did
Wait
they know?
a minute. Was there another cooler next to you with beer?
Duh.
Well, Technically, there was no alcohol involved, but there was alcohol involved.
Right.
I never stopped him before.
So Jerry would go down underwater in his gear and sneak up on everybody
and scare,
poke them, and they'd urinate on them, and then he'd move on to the next victim.
There was some screams that night.
Greg, do you remember the TV version of that?
The TV of what?
No, the cartoon version that came out right after Jaws. It was
Jabberjaw.
Yes,
Jabberjaws.
Thank you.
Yes.
Casey got it.
Okay. Yeah, I do. Vaguely.
And you remember what he would do? He'd come up out of the water. Gotcha.
Okay. All right. I'd probably have blocked that out.
He was a lot like Curly.
Greg, I don't think you block stuff out. I think your brain is rotting.
No.
I think you're deteriorating.
No.
You need to take some like Prevagen or something.
No, God,
take some kind of brain.
It's made out
take
of
some brain pills, Greg.
It's time for the monkey brain.
I'm going to talk to your wife about getting you some brain pills.
No, Prevagen comes from jellyfish.
Jellyfish.
Well, you need something. Because you say, "Oh, I blocked that out. I blocked it out." I'm like, blocking out stuff is only for like something that's super traumatic.
Okay, we'll conduct an experiment. Vinny, go out there, grab a jellyfish off the west coast of California. Slop it on your head. Let's see if you get smarter.
I don't think it works that way.
Yeah, wear a jellyfish
I think you
hat.
need to ingest it orally.
You put it on a slice of bread with peanut butter. You have a peanut butter and jellyfish sandwich.
Oh, there it is.
That's a good one.
Oh,
He's got jokes, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, God help us. Are we going to have to listen to all of them?
No.
Oh, good. Thank God. All right, more coming up.
This is the Worldwide Scuba Radio Network.
Scuba Radio. Scuba Radio.
Prepare to rig for dive! Your surface interval is complete. You're now clear to dive with Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio.
Dive, dive, dive.
I would like to extend to you an invitation to the party.
We're gonna have some fun without a dive. At the party, scuba party. Now don't stay behind, don't get left out. At the party, scuba party. Now the scuba party is here and he's here to stay. Scuba party. If you want some fun, it's the only way. At the party, scuba party. We're gonna dive in and swim all about, move around just like the truck. Now at the party, a big party.
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. Okay, so we've covered Jaws a bit. We've talked about our new term for what you don't want to be on the dive boat. You don't want to be a scuba douche. We'll cover that accordingly and make sure everyone understands how to avoid being called such a name. But we got to talk a little bit more about what Morgana specifically is doing in Bonaire, because she is, even though she doesn't have her gear, she is working with a new dive shop, or, well, not a new one, but I mean, how much can we say about this, Morgana?
I mean, I was at a party last night, so I think the song was a beautiful transition, as it was a scuba party.
Excellent. So, you're working with, what's the name of the dive shop there in Bonaire?
VIP diving to most Americans, but it's pronounced VIP diving on the island.
Love
and
it.
they are a fantastic dive shop, definitely one of the best on Bonaire. And last night was their opening of their new tech diving shop.
Aha.
They basically doubled the size of their shop, and the whole second half is completely devoted to tech diving.
Completely
very cool.
devoted to tech diving. So now I don't believe you're are you tech certified yourself, or you're planning to get that way? Yeah, right. Because you're relatively new to the diving world, right?
In that I'm a rescue diver that's been diving for 12 years. Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. Well, then maybe not so much.
Don't be a scuba douche, Greg.
Well, I'm trying not to. I always just, I mean, Morgana has this mermaid empire. I figured that was just distracting you from.
I am
your diving.
better known for the mermaids for sure, but no,
Wow.
I've been a diver for about 12 years now.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. So
She's
VIP
still
diving,
a baby.
VIP diving there in Bonaire. So when you say they're opening up or have this new tech section, I mean, they've always been on the cutting edge of that type of that part of the market in Bonaire, because I've heard of them over the last few years for sure.
Absolutely.
So what's new? What are they doing? That's are they focusing more on tech or just having that as another option or what?
They've got Kevin O'Brien and Martin Van Hazel are the powerhouses behind this. And Kevin O'Brien goes by KOB. He's actually set records on Bonaire for depth diving and is a big fan of rebreathers. So they have a whole new shop dedicated to furthering the education of tech diving on Bonaire, both locally and also as like a place to go get certified and learn from some of the best of the best.
Wow.
It was very cool. This new shop has full maintenance and repair facilities, lockers, everything you need, an incredibly wide array of equipment to like take your tech diving to the next level. And they're giving just as much space and devotion to the tech diving as they've always given to the recreational diving. And that's very cool to see.
Yeah. I mean, because when you get into the islands, a lot of times, that's not something that you'll have. I mean, you see a lot more tech stuff like around the Springs of Florida or the Midwest and that kind of thing. I mean, there's some island places that are doing some tech and rebreather stuff, but you kind of have to dig a little deeper to find those operations. So it sounds like that's what they're doing there. Do you even know what type of rebreathers they're specializing in, or is that above?
I think they do all of them. I haven't done a rebreather yet, so I'm not sure I would have recognized it, but I know that they're very adaptable. One of the cool things about VIP is that they're very focused on the individual person's experience and being able to develop them professionally however far they want, to the point where they have this great story. This guy had a shoulder injury. He wanted to do more tech diving, but he couldn't reach over his equipment to do whatever it is he needed to do up here. I'm not a tech diver. I don't know, something.
Yeah.
They with their maintenance guys in-house, they actually developed a way to rehang all of his equipment upside down so that he could reach down to do whatever adjustments he needed to do that would have been at the top of the tank, now at the bottom.
Yeah. What about like side mount, trimix, all that kind of stuff?
All of that.
Yeah,
the whole thing is that they want to make it adaptable to the person and the person's needs and goals.
Yeah.
So
and we've talked about a Velo last few weeks too. Are they part of that system as well? Are they doing a Velo? Do you know that, or it doesn't?
I don't know. I was there was a lot of drinks. It was a scuba party.
Well, that's
a lot of drinks.
Divers drink like fish. It goes with the territory for sure. But yeah. Well, congrats on that. I mean, so you and your teammate there are working with the dive shop quite a bit. I think that's going to create a ton of opportunities for you in the diving world. So is that going to kind of overtake your life, you think, for over the next year or so, or is there any guess?
I don't think so. I think the mermaiding is still, my bread and butter, as it were. Weird sentence, but it's true. And I still have a great deal of mermaid clients throughout the U.S. and some abroad. So I'm going to be kind of flying back and forth, but it's really nice to have this diver's paradise, which I know is the slogan, but is also just so accurate to come home to and be able to have the extreme privilege of all this shore diving and be able to get in the water just anytime you want. Because I used to live in Washington, D.C., and that was not the case.
I would think not. Yeah. And I would imagine Bonaire is pretty open to the idea of welcoming another mermaid on the island too. Aren't they?
For sure. And they also have one though. There's one called the Bonaire Mermaid, and you can book her for mermaid experience.
Wait, excuse me, the what mermaid?
Bonaire Mermaid.
Bonaire.
That's what I heard.
Bonaire.
That might be a dude.
Scuba douche, I believe, is the proper term.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. But that's pretty awesome, Morgana. Congrats.
It's been fascinating down
here.
Thank you.
I bet. I mean, I think that's one of the kind of things that if you're a diver, what's the ultimate dream? To dive around the world or go, chuck everything, sell everything, go live on a Caribbean island.
Yep.
And live
I'm
the
this
life.
close.
Are you?
I'm this close.
The mental shift of you can just go diving is so bizarre to me, because I do own my own equipment and things, and so once I have tanks, it's just you could just go the same way you go snorkeling. You take your buddy and you just walk. I can't quite wrap my head around it not having to be a boat and all this other stuff first. The idea that it just can be done is crazy.
Right. Well,
you have to buy yourself one compressor though.
Why?
Yes.
Get a compressor so you don't even have to visit the dive. The dive shop.
She has one. She's working with VIP diving. Yeah, she's working with a dive
I've
shop.
got friends in diving for sure.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
to your point.
Listen, Barry, listen.
I am listening. I'm already setting up, selling everything, and then moving to a little island
Barry
somewhere.
just wants me to have a compressor so he doesn't have to go to a dive shop.
That's right.
That's what it is. Possibly.
Take off your Jimmy hat.
My Jimmy. No, this is my. I can't. I have to wear this.
He has to.
For the glare?
Yeah.
His brains will fall out.
That's for Mr. Jacques Cousteau.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Fair
The
enough.
guy that got me into diving.
Okay. That's
personally.
It hides a scar.
He's
It
old.
hides a
He is
scar.
old.
Yeah, I'm old.
That would be
Possible.
cool.
It keeps his walnut warm.
We're not going there, Jerry.
Is that your pet term?
No. That's Jerry's pet term.
Is this where we go into the Bear Jar thing?
Yeah, let's not.
No, we're not going to start that.
They get
No
embarrassed.
walnut
Greg.
jokes.
Greg, they get
Yeah.
embarrassed.
They do.
Shut up, Jerry.
They're gonna block. They're
Barry
gonna
and
fight,
Jerry.
and it's all your fault.
Lovers quarrel, the whole thing. I don't want to start.
You had to start
a
it. You
thing.
had to do it, Jerry.
Not me.
Yeah.
Uh,
What made? Can I ask you real quick?
No.
What made
No.
you?
No.
No, hush up.
Okay.
What, Morgana? What made you just get up and leave?
The show right now?
honestly, it was-
No, to go to Bond. I mean, that's a
Oh, okay.
big change in
it's a
life.
big move. Well, it is a big change in life on both sides for my family. I've always wanted to live in the Caribbean again. I actually grew up in Panama, so a lot of this feels like coming home.
Mhm.
And my husband was ready for a change of career, so he is getting his dive master at VIP and looking
awesome.
to pursue his second act as a full-time dive professional.
I love it. I mean, she's living the dream of what we all would like to have. God bless her. All right, look, hour 2 is on deck. We got to talk about a new TV show, believe it or not. It features sharks and much, much more coming up in hour 2 on the world's first radio show devoted to diving.
If you be pressurized there, you'll want to be there on Scuba Radio. Let's go!
Scuba Radio. Scuba Radio is a production of Overboard Entertainment Incorporated.
Scuba Radio. This seems the logical place for fish to congregate.
Remember, you can listen live or to archives of past editions of Scuba Radio worldwide over the internet at ScubaRadio.com.
So we're in international waters? Indeed so.
Tell a friend and buddy up with your radio every week for Scuba Radio, the world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Well, it's all very nice here, but we should be going. I miss me wife and me oxygen.
Yes, we all miss our loved ones and gases. Let's go.
The opinions you just heard on Scuba Radio are those of the hosts, callers, and guests.
Okay, what I just heard? Blah, 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 blah.
They are not necessarily those of any station or network, its management, or advertisers.
Come on, quit yanking me.
Scuba diving does involve risk and should never be conducted without proper instruction and training.
Oh, what's the worst thing that could happen?
I could die.
Have any questions or comments? Feel free to do so via the web at ScubaRadio.com.
Oh, hello there. Don't be alarmed. We're just preparing your listening device for Scuba Radio, the world's first radio show devoted to diving. We do this, of course, by filling the radio with water. Don't worry, we're professionals. Thanks to me, you won't even get wet. You see, I've crammed every appendage of my body into the cracks and crevices of your radio, ensuring an airtight seal. By the way, don't touch your on-off knob. That's a very sensitive area. Anyway, I should remind you, we believe in the buddy system just like diving, so don't listen alone. Call your buddy and tell them that Scuba Radio is about to begin.
We're gonna start a new life under the sea.
So, am I gonna drown?
Of course not. Just stay calm and let the gentle currents relax your every muscle.
Under the sea. Under the sea.
Did it just get warmer?
There'll be no accusations, just friendly crustaceans under the sea.
Where the hell are the sharks?
And now, here's your dive guide for Scuba Radio, Greg the Dive Master.
And welcome to hour 2 of the world's first radio show devoted to diving, better known as
The Douche.
Scuba douche, knows it all
That's not
despite
right.
the truth. Far and wide, he'll say he's gone, but there's not much brain and too much brawn. Look out! Here comes a scuba douche. This is a scuba douche.
That's not right.
Don't be a scuba douche.
Totally different thing.
Did I trigger that by saying douche?
I think you did. It's
The douche. It's the number 2
Deuce.
hour. 2, douche.
Deuce.
Right. That's what I said, douche.
Someday we'll get it right.
Don't do it again, CJ. He'll just hit that stupid button.
No, he won't.
We don't have a stupid button.
The bit is
What are you
over.
talking about? Oh, we're going to beat this thing into the ground.
You're
You know
going to
that.
kill that one, huh?
Okay. So look, we can
Moving
talk.
on.
Why change now?
True. We got the 50-year anniversary of Jaws. Morgana hadn't even seen the movie because she's too friggin' young.
She's too young to know it. Yeah.
She's surrounded by all these old farts that.
Yeah, but that's kind of like one of those, like, the Wizard of Oz. Like, yeah, we weren't around when
No,
that
I've
came out
seen The
either,
Wizard
but
of
we've seen
Oz.
it.
Yeah, she saw that.
That's what I'm saying.
That's cinema.
Oh, okay.
With midgets.
Now she's really kicking the old guys to the curb. Is what she's doing.
Well, I mean,
That's okay.
Jaws is a good movie.
Hey, I was a little
think.
kid when that came out. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, I mean, if you go back and watch Jaws now, I think it's quite entertaining.
It's not scary to me.
No, I mean, now we know. I think the world has been, gotten over the whole Jaws thing to a certain extent, as far as the movie having the effect that it did back.
Well,
in the
they
day.
came out with all those ridiculous, horrible CGI movies a few years ago.
And we've had to deal with Shark Week over the years, and that's even got tamed down. But people have gotten a little bit more open to the idea that sharks aren't out to eat us, and I think we've kind of. I mean, people are still afraid of sharks. Don't get me wrong, and they play them up this time of year. We've had shark attack stories on the news, literally today, this morning.
Yeah, that little girl.
Yeah, and
but they saved her hand. That is amazing.
that is amazing.
No, I
She'll
mean
have a story
seriously.
to tell.
It is.
No, this 9-year-old, she was out there snorkeling, and a shark bit her hand, but she kept her calm.
Yeah.
And they got her to the hospital, and they put her back together. And after some intense physical therapy, they said she should be good.
Okay. Well, there you go. And
They need to go shark diving with us in Bimini when the tigers and the hammerheads, they won't be scared anymore.
well, maybe, or maybe we
I want
need
to
to
go
just.
shark diving in Bimini.
Well, hey, we'll make it happen. We know people.
Being a scuba douche, aren't I? I'm sorry.
Yes, you are.
Not
But-
really. He what? Nah.
He was inviting her.
Yeah.
So
No,
I
that
guess
was-
that's
that was
fair.
sweet.
Yes, you're more than welcome. The diving is amazing when the tigers come and the hammerheads and
And just for the
I believe
record, something I didn't point out before, Morgana is in Bonaire, which is right next door to Curacao. Whereas if you visit the island of Curacao, you are being douchey is a very positive thing.
Oh yeah,
because
so
it's
different.
Dutch.
No, it is. It is. You like
Yeah.
have a douchey day. That's what they say.
Mhm.
You haven't been
Yeah.
there long enough to know this.
That's unfortunate.
They say it in Bonaire as well.
Do they? We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you get that look on your face? Like, yeah, I don't like it. It's an American
Ugly
thing.
Americans.
maybe.
Make anything naughty.
Yeah.
Ugly Americans.
She's like, you idiots.
Mhm.
You're being so immature, Greg.
Yeah.
Can we talk
No.
about scallops?
No, we're going to talk about
Scallops. What's for
another.
lunch?
No, we're going to talk about a new TV show that Netflix has just announced. They put out a trailer for a show called what is it? All the Sharks or
all the sharks.
All the
you
Sharks.
sent it.
And
why are we not a team on that show?
Well, I
with
didn't
all
know
your
about it.
Hollywood connections?
I didn't.
Because no one called.
Well, actually, I think it might be. This may have been produced out of Australia.
Greg, you need to get your agent on the line.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you don't have one.
But all the people, basically, they've brought together, I'd say, like, I don't know, 7, 8 shark researchers from around the world. And they've set up this reality show where they have to go around and photograph as many sharks as possible, different species of sharks. I'm
No,
like,
they have to photograph all the sharks.
well, okay,
The
maybe.
more the better. You know what, though?
Yeah.
I think this is a positive because I watched the trailer. I finally watched it this morning.
Yeah.
And it's just about photography, and I think it could be educational
Shark
for a lot
photography.
of people that don't know.
There's no doubt
it's
it
excellent. It'll be an excellent show.
Yeah,
well,
I'm
it's
gonna
going to be, I mean, all the people that are participating, the winner, they'll get money, I don't know, 50 grand to the charity of their choice, which I think is for shark conservation or whatever environmental thing.
Excellent.
Type of deal. Yeah, so it has a good thing. Does it have enough buzz to it, though? That's what I wonder.
Once we get it on this show, look out.
Yeah. I mean, it could. I mean, I just don't know where they're going to go with this. Other than I do know they are planning to go to Bimini because it's in one of the clips. So
a lot of people watch Netflix.
So the great hammerheads that they're going to check off the list are probably done there with Neil
couldn't
Watson
we
Jr.
accidentally be in Bimini at the same time?
They've already done it.
They've already done it.
It's filmed. It's in the
late,
If
can.
there's
Greg.
clips of it, it's already shot.
Yes.
Are you not ahead of anything?
No. That's why I didn't know about it. If I would have known about it, I would have jumped all over this. But I didn't know they were doing this thing. I mean,
They're probably going to have a season 2.
Well, we'll have to wait and
You
see
need
how
to
it
call
does.
Neil Jr. and go, what the hell, bro?
Well, you know what he did? I think he did possibly kind of dance around the idea that he had
He
some
was
folks
probably
over.
sworn to secrecy.
Yeah, he has an NDA. All this stuff happens. All the producers and everything, all the operators, when they do this, they're not allowed to talk about it too much. And he did say something to me a few months ago, like, "Oh yeah, we had this crew in, they did something," and he didn't really get that specific, but I bet you that's what he was referring.
we
to.
could have
need to go over his head to senior.
Well, I mean, there's only so much you can do. I mean,
The scuba god would confide in us.
Okay.
I think we've been blackballed.
Well, that's possible too. He knew if there's any chance of success with this show, keep these guys as far away as possible.
That'd be because of the walnuts, Barry.
Jeez.
There
it is.
What walnuts?
There it is.
That's because Casey will float backwards up into the chum box.
Somebody's a scuba douche. Anywho, Netflix is debuting this show, I believe, July 4th, over the holiday weekend.
Sweet.
And, the thing will it take off? Will it be a big show, or will it just kind of fizzle out? I mean, I kind of thought Mer People was going to be a massive.
I bet it'll be in
world.
top 10. You
So,
watch.
Yeah.
What had happened was we came out right in the middle of the writers' strike.
That's
so there was no promotion around it at all. It would have been cool for it to be bigger, but it was a cool experience regardless, and it is what it is.
Well, exactly. And Morgana is featured prominently in Mer People on Netflix, which is I would assume it's still on there, isn't it? Could you look it up?
Yeah. No, it's still on there.
Yeah.
Still on.
It actually just trended again recently, which was weird. It was just 3 or 4 months ago because it got released 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
So it's been out there for a while, fine. And literally just 3 months ago, I got a Google alert that it was trending again, and I have no idea why.
Well,
So,
you never
we'll
know.
see.
Anything
Leaving soon.
What do you mean leaving soon? That's
Not me. I'll give you the show from.
No, he's
Thank
just.
you.
Yeah, you see that when you're on Netflix. They're like, hey, you want to watch
Yeah.
this? It's leaving soon. I'm like, no.
Okay. Way to be a scuba douche. That's what you just illustrated for everyone right now.
Trying to
You're gonna get a
contribute,
lot of,
okay?
lot of mileage out of that.
All right.
Your stupid show.
Okay.
Go
All
to
right.
hell.
Thank you. Well, no, I don't. Not thank you. I mean, don't say that. That's not nice. More coming up.
This is the Worldwide Scuba Radio Network.
Power, simplicity, reliability. It's what you demand of your dive computer, and Shearwater delivers. Shearwater evolved out of one tech diver's need for a reliable, easy-to-use rebreather dive computer and quickly became the tech market leader. Now recreational divers have taken notice. The Shearwater Taric is the best, most intuitive, and reliable wristwatch-sized dive computer on the market. Check it out in the entire line at shearwater.com. Shearwater, dive computers for demanding divers.
How, when, and where it's made has never been more important than now. Just ask all those divers and dive shops that struggled to get products and parts during the pandemic. One relatively new gear manufacturer, however, managed quite well. Nex is one of the few, if not only, dive gear manufacturers to bring regulator and design assembly back to the USA. No shortages during the pandemic for their customers and dealers. And get this, Nex was a Tester's Choice winner in Scuba Lab for 2022 and a Best Buy in 2023. Each Nex regulator system is made to order, cutting down on overhead and allowing you to get exactly what you need for the kind of diving you prefer. This will be the last regulator you'll ever need, since the modular design can easily be modified as your diving skills and preferences evolve over time. Are you ready to make your next dive your best dive? Then go to nextdive.com. That's nexdive.com. Nex Underwater Products. nextdive.com.
Scuba action star Mike Scott is back in a new audiobook, Cayman Cowboys, Reefs Under Pressure. From author Eric Douglas comes the one that started it all. Listen as Mike deals with submarines, kidnapping, betrayal, and more.
He didn't even have fins or a mask to let him see in the water. He was going to be slow and blind. If it weren't for the float, he knew there would be no way he would ever make it to the surface.
Download Cayman Cowboys or Oil and Water, Return to Cayman, Turks and Chaos, and Lionfish at Amazon, booksbyeric.com, and audible.com.
Prepare to rig for dive! Your surface interval is complete. You're now clear to dive with Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio.
Dive, dive, dive.
Here comes old Greg. He's a scaly manfish.
He's Greg the Dive Master.
What you doing in my waters?
The show is a disaster.
I got something to show you.
He's Greg the Dive Master.
Hi there.
Master. Dive Master. Dive Master. Dive Master.
I'm old Greg. Pleased to meet you.
I'm Nart. Hello, fishies.
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am old Greg the Dive Master, and I'll just leave it at that for now. But look, there is we got this new Netflix TV show. It'll debut on Netflix. I believe it's July 4th or that weekend. So check it out. It'll be interesting to see if it does well. I hope it does. I mean, the premise is they take all these shark conservationists and send them on a mission to take pictures as many different species of shark as possible. And so they travel the world. They go to Bimini, I saw on the trailer. So they're visiting Neil Watson Jr. And I'm sure that'll look very familiar, diving with the great hammerheads and bull sharks and Caribbean reefs. I bet at least those three species they'll knock off the list easy in that part of the world, and then God knows where else they go. Now, I just kind of wonder, the premise is, that's the premise, and the team that photographs the most sharks, there's point numbers given to each species of sharks, I guess, depending on how rare they are. Will that be enough to make a cool reality show? I don't know, maybe. I hope.
Do the photographs have to be good?
I have no idea. I mean, we'll have to wait and see how they present this. I mean, if they throw in some reality TV show, smut or something, I don't know. Like
maybe they put a shark on a team and you tie a bait fish to your buddy's tank.
Okay.
Now you're talking.
Well, kind of like when we put a rubber chicken and attached it to the back of Vinny Two Tanks in the Galapagos. Yeah. That was fun.
Did you do that?
Yeah, heck yeah.
You didn't tell me about that.
Oh, yeah. And it made a noise.
Yeah. I couldn't understand why everybody was staring at me.
Yeah, he thought it was just because.
No.
He thought it was just the red Spanx.
He just thought he was squeaking.
Yeah. Actually,
chicken fricassee.
Vinny went out for, didn't you go on like a Father's Day camp out or fishing camp kind of excursion? And that's what I heard. Is that true, Vinny? Was that last weekend?
Tom and I went up to the Sierras for 3 days of hiking and fishing.
Yeah, that's what Tutu Tom told me. He said he went fishing, but he said Vinny stayed back at camp. And when he came back, his drawers were hanging from a tree.
Oh, yeah. Well.
Did you see Bigfoot?
No, I said, I asked him, I said, Tom, so wait, you went fishing and Vinny stayed back at camp and like danced around the campfire naked or something, or what?
No, I just hung up a pair of shorts to air out a little bit. I was gone already. I went back. I went on a 4.5 mile hike.
Greg, that's to keep the bears away, don't you?
Oh, right. You put them in a tree so the bears don't.
Bears don't like human scat.
No.
Was it a red Spanx?
No, he ditched those. He left those in the Galapagos.
He said they were airing out. So.
Are we going to see pictures of Bigfoot wearing
Please, God,
Spanx?
no, please.
Tom thought that would be a funny picture, so he took it.
Yes.
And I said, well, if you're
shared it with me.
Go ahead.
Son of a
if you
bitch.
think that's funny, I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, he
How
didn't
dare
ask me
he.
permission.
Man, got no
and
shame.
sure enough, he sent it to you. So there you go.
What did you have on when he sent the picture?
I was long gone. I had gotten up that morning and decided to go on a hike with a bunch of other guys.
You went hiking naked?
Yeah, I went from like 6,000 feet to 11,000 feet and back again, and it just about killed me.
Wow.
I got to tell you.
Well, so Vinny is a hiking
trip.
fool. Yeah.
I mean, it was a rough hike, man.
Well, if you're free balling, of course it is. And when you're chafing, dear God.
No, I was fully
mosquito.
clothed.
Oh, you were clothed. Oh,
Still.
he was clothed. Okay.
Oh, he had more than one pair. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
now
He's like Batman. He has redundant suits.
It was pretty challenging,
Multiple red Spanx.
especially the altitude.
yes.
But
Well,
I persevered.
okay. Well, all I can say to Tutu Tom for forwarding that picture to me. How dare he? And I will not forget that.
I'll send you the one. I got the one of
No,
him
that's
where
okay. That's okay.
I did find it odd that his hiking group was called Diddle Brothers.
Is that
I
true?
hadn't heard that. I haven't heard that before.
Ah, well, okay.
A likely
So
story.
you
All I
have
know
heard
is
that
it was really
before.
a great trip. It was really relaxing. I
Yeah.
really liked it.
Well, okay. Well, you're the only one. But no, I'm kidding.
Did you have
They
to squat over a mushroom?
Why? Why? What'd you do
Well, we
this?
were at a campground. We were camping. You know,
Does a Vinny crap in the woods?
You just dig a latrine. You'll be fine.
no, we stayed in a high class campground that actually had restrooms. We paid a little more money.
And you
got 'em a
still
little more
hung your
civilized.
drawers from a tree?
Man's got to have a sink, Greg.
Okay.
And a shower.
Yeah, that's right. Man's got to have.
Okay. That's enough. That's enough.
We know why. That's funny.
That was funny.
We know why.
God help us. What is wrong with these people?
What is
All
wrong?
right. So there is a couple other stories we got to navigate through as well today. Did you guys see the viral video of the girl that was wearing the dive helmet, one of those tourist things? I think they were in Mexico, and their surface supplied air helmet. I don't know what they call these things. Yeah, you saw the video, and she got tripped up underwater and flipped upside down under a bar, and next thing you know, the helmet comes off, and they have to. Yeah. She's panicked and freaks out and the whole thing, and it did not look
Is there
good.
not a strap on those? Like she flipped upside down and it just falls off, and I'm like, there's no strap, like a little chin buckle, harness, anything?
I think
That
they're
just falls
weighted.
off?
Oh,
They're weighted.
weighted.
That's
they're weighted. Yeah, so they're weighted to be.
Oh.
yeah. I mean, it's basically very old technology from like old commercial diving days, and it's just the weight of the helmet that holds it over your head and onto your shoulders, and then they pump air into the top of the helmet, and it forces the air out, and that's what they're breathing, and it's good for people
the water
that
out.
Yeah, it's good for people that aren't certified scuba
She needs to
divers.
go to the training on Bonaire and make sure it doesn't happen again.
Well, maybe. Well, she needs to become a scuba diver. is what
Or
it is.
redundancy.
Or yeah, she should add a spare air.
spare
Maybe.
air on
A spare air, yeah.
Now, this viral video went all over the web, but I just looked this morning. It's almost disappeared.
It's
I mean,
like
the stories
she just
out
lost
there.
her footing on it.
Yeah, and slipped upside down, and then the thing came off. But you don't normally see this kind of thing. But the video itself might have been scrubbed. There's stuff about the story.
That's still on TikTok.
Oh, you're on TikTok? Well, maybe it's there. But I saw a
And
video.
that's why we don't walk on the bottom.
Well, that could be one reason. Or just like, hey, don't mess with that stuff. Go straight to learning how to be a diver. But the new video out there talks about how they saved her and she was fine. No harm, no
good.
foul.
Happy
kind of
ending.
thing. Yes, there you go. All right, more coming up.
Scuba Radio. Scuba Radio.
Come as a guest, leave as a friend. It's a philosophy that comes from the top down at Explorer Ventures liveaboards. It doesn't matter if you're traveling solo, with a buddy, or group. Explorer Ventures does the liveaboard dive experience right. For proof, know Explorer Ventures has one of the best repeat customer stats in the dive industry. They're also the official liveaboard company of Scuba Radio. You've likely heard us talk about Explorer Ventures Scuba Radio scuba cruise trips many times, and we invite you to join us on the next one. However, whether we're on board with you or not, I'll bet an Explorer Ventures liveaboard trip will be one of the best dive experiences you've ever had. It just doesn't get any better. Saba St. Kitts, Turks and Caicos, the Galapagos, Maldives, Indonesia, humpback whales, and the Silver Banks, new destinations and itineraries are being added all the time. Call one of their talented travel consultants to find the Explorer Ventures liveaboard experience that's just right for you. 1-800-322-3577. That's 1-800-322-3577. Or visit explorerventures.com. That's explorerventures.com.
Scuba
Radio. Prepare to rig for dive!
Your surface interval is complete. You're now clear to dive with Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio.
Dive, dive, dive.
Get up, we're going.
Where?
Maldives.
The Maldives? I don't even know where that is.
Indian Ocean. It's beautiful.
The natives there, are they friendly?
You don't need to worry about the natives, Tiny. Natives need to worry about you. Come on, we got a plane to catch.
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. Yeah, Maldives. August 3rd, I'm going to be on the Emperor Explorer in the Maldives with Explorer Ventures. You want to join us? 1-800-322-3577. I believe they still have a couple spots left. It is pretty full, or getting pretty close. That was a couple weeks ago, right before I was out at the scuba show. I checked, and they still had a couple spots left, or berths or whatever. But 10-night liveaboard in the Maldives. It is going to be epic, and I cannot wait.
So the natives need to worry about you.
Yeah, exactly.
So be nice.
No.
Be nice, Greg.
I'm going to be a scuba douche.
No, be nice.
No, I'm going to be a scuba douche. I am.
Scuba douche. Scuba douche.
Okay, that's enough.
That's plenty.
Yes, but I might be one.
Now you need a song about Vinny's underpants.
I've seen London. I've seen France.
I've seen Vinny's
I've seen Vinny's underpants. There you go. That was easy.
It writes itself.
It does, doesn't it? It's very unfortunate.
You'll have to write something about Barry Annie's walnuts.
Okay, that's enough.
I don't understand the walnut. Is he eating walnuts?
I don't know. The thing is that with dementia, one of the problems is you build up a plaque in your brain, and they're saying that the omega-3 oils in walnuts have a large amount of omega-3s per ounce, about 2.5 grams.
Just for the record, wasn't that a rhetorical question?
Be nuts.
No, I was just serious.
I was hoping.
No,
it was
and I'm being
rhetorical.
serious.
No,
so
I know. And don't call me Shirley.
Shirley, you must be joking. It's either 2 or 2.5 grams per ounce. So if you just eat 1 ounce a day, supposedly omega-3s will slowly remove these plaques from.
All right, I'm going to start now preventatively.
You're going to eat his walnuts?
I love walnuts.
Okay.
No,
I haven't had
walnuts are
any in
good.
a long time.
Well, I will give Barry credit. It's to help his memory, and he did remember where he put his nuts.
Eat my nuts.
I always keep them close by just in case.
Okay.
He keeps them in his bag.
Stop it. Just.
Do you have to shave your nuts?
That was
Okay,
good.
that's.
No, I wouldn't put anything sharp near my nuts.
Not a boy.
Okay, all right.
Not a boy.
But he keeps his nuts within
Okay, that's
arm's
enough.
reach.
Do I got to turn off the mics for
Sorry.
everyone now?
Sorry,
Jeez.
that was my fault.
That's just way too much.
I went there.
way over the line. All right.
Let's
so-
start again. This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Yeah, we'll fix that in
He
post.
is Greg the Dive Master.
Yes, that's me. So, by the way, just putting a cap on that story with the helmet dive incident on the video.
Take 2.
What can we learn from this, you think?
Don't go upside down.
That would be a good
Don't
first step.
invert.
Don't invert.
With the dive helmet.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, she just kind of slipped
That would
under
be the
a
number
pole.
one thing. And if I ever wore one of those, the number one thing in my head, do not flip upside down. Stay.
Yeah.
Stay upright.
I don't know how deep they were, but I think they
maybe she was
they
just
did get her
one of
back to the
those-
surface fine.
Maybe she was just one of those people that's just like, super
Well,
accident prone.
Yeah.
And
Well,
if
so
you-
if you- she
She did try to jump up and touch a stingray.
But if you think about it for a minute, it's buoyant, so it's going to want to go vertical. For her to have to flip it upside down, if it's weighted on the bottom and it's buoyant on the top, it would want to stay in that direction.
Yeah, you would think.
So if I'm picturing the video right, they're all like holding on to a bar in front of them,
Right.
and she like somersaults over the bar.
Yeah, she
Well,
like
she
slipped
jumps
around it.
Yeah. So she like
jumps
goes
up.
around it. So there's a, yeah.
So
She
she's like a
jumped up to
gymnast.
try to touch a stingray.
Well, and when
then
she
she's
came
coming
back down,
her
she slipped.
feet
Slipped
go
out from
Ah.
under her, and then she did a loop around the.
I didn't see that first
Around the
part of the
bar.
video I saw. They just had her flipping over the bar.
Yeah,
It's like
I
a
think.
jar. If you put a jar upside down in the water, it's fine. But if you tip it
Right.
at all, it floods
Mhm.
with water.
Yeah.
Am I the only person who thinks that if you're going to be underwater with compressed air, like you probably should be scuba certified? Like
Yeah,
these
you
other
should-
sort of
well-
workarounds seem more dangerous.
I don't think it's more dangerous. I just think it's kind of cheesy. I mean, if
I'm
you're
sure
gonna do
they
it,
were very shallow.
I was like,
they
but
do
it's
all that snuba stuff in these tourist places.
But it's a way to get people in the water
It has
and
its
actually
place.
looking at because it can sell scuba. Allie's the idea for her learning to scuba dive many years ago was doing that snuba at Disney World.
right. Oh yeah,
They had
when
they had that
at
over at the
But they had it
Typhoon
with the
Lagoon.
regulator
Yeah, I
in her
remember.
mouth,
It-
right?
Well, they had a regulator and you had a little tank, but you couldn't dive because it was permanent flotation. But that's where she got the idea. She said, "This is great," and then we learned to dive.
And that I'm more on board with because, like, the fact that the helmet can fall off, like Jerry was saying, like a little bit of water, it tilts it all, it starts to
Yeah.
do this thing. That seems like a bad engineering option for people that don't have any experience underwater at all.
Well, I'm sure
I
they give them
agree.
some sort of orientation class. And there's probably a diver right there ready to put a
Well,
rig
they-
in
There
somebody's
was,
the
mouth.
diver was
Yeah.
there.
They had protocols in place, and that's what I was saying earlier. The video's kind of been scraped from YouTube, for instance. It looks like,
Well,
and
what
they
was
replaced
Jerry
it
saying about the
with
stingray?
a safe thing. Well, she just reached up to reach out
Kind
for
of bounce, jump,
bounced.
up to
Yeah, and
touch
then
it,
they were all
and-
barefoot, I think, and they were probably on a slippery surface, and she slipped under the bar and just kind of did a loop, and the helmet came off, and it was not ideal. But the video, it's interesting. The video that's out now and its place kind of talks about, hey, this viral video is out there. We know it looks all dangerous and stuff, but here's what happened. She's fine. And the people were there to save her, and they took her to the surface. It was not that big a deal. It wasn't as dangerous or as scary situation as it's being played out online, which is probably true. It got blown out of proportion a little bit. I mean, and I don't even know if they were very deep either. I'm not sure.
It looked like maybe
25
15,
feet.
20 foot.
Yeah. So, anywho, that's one story I wanted
Maybe
to
at
address.
least water shoes or something with some grip to it, so you don't
Yeah,
slip
maybe.
so easily.
She had some sort of shoes on.
Well, whatever. It's I think
I didn't see the video.
I think snorkeling is even better than that, honestly, in a good spot.
I think
mean-
they need to put her feet in concrete.
Ooh, that's harsh.
That's not that's a little too far, I think. Also, there was another story I came across I wanted to throw out to the crew today about a new underwater habitat that's being developed in the UK.
Really?
And, we know about the Atlantis Project. We know about Jules Undersea Lodge. And
Right.
We've done some stuff. Joe DeTuri, we had him on the show. Last year he was trying to break the record for the most days underwater. He held it for, I don't know, a few weeks or a day or two. I don't know. And then a guy came in and beat his record. I think he had like 100 days, and now the record's like 120
That's
or
a
something.
scuba douche.
What do you mean that's a scuba?
Come break a record the guy just broke.
Well, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, there's a company in the UK looking to develop more a much more in-depth type of underwater habitats, like a real underwater hotel. I mean, for scientists, like the Atlantis Project is one of the things that is there's real scientific research being done down there in the Keys, and Jules Undersea Lodges, they do some of that stuff too, but it's much older, and you can go down there and stay overnight, order pizza, and have fun.
Yeah, order pizza, have it delivered.
Yeah, but the Atlantis Project is a real working scientific underwater habitat, which is kind of cool. But this new one is called there's two versions they're creating. One's for like 2 or 3 day things, probably more like Jules, but another one that they want to establish like a real underwater, like, almost like one of them Habitrail type things, very futuristic.
Like a gerbil.
Called the Sentinel. That's the name of the habitat, and it's modular, so they can put extra pieces on. Yeah, like a Habitrail from like.
Have people crawling around in the tubes like you did set your kids there.
I would do it.
Watch out for Richard Gere.
Hey, I don't think he's part of this project.
Good.
He might be a financial investor, though. I don't know. All right, more coming up.
This is the Worldwide Scuba Radio Network.
Scuba Radio. Prepare to rig for dive!
Your surface interval is complete. You're now clear to dive with Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio.
Dive, dive, dive.
Hey, man. Hey, what are you doing today? I don't know. I was kind of bored. You want to do something cool? Well, like what? We could go scuba dive. Oh, yeah, that sounds great. I've never done it before. Well, there's only a few things that you got to do to be good at it, and it's really easy to learn. Here, I'll show you. Come with me.
Okay, everyone, let's get our gear on. Let's go for a dive. Tanks are right here.
Now, to be a scuba diver, it can be so much fun. Making memories and sharing good times in the sun. Descend with the quickness, equalize so you don't pop. To avoid decompression sickness, always make a safety stop. You know, gonna be a scuba diver. Gonna be an underwater survivor. I'm gonna be a scuba diver.
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. By the way, you want to get info on that underwater habitat I was talking about? Deep.com, DEEP.com. Simple as that. Go check it out. I mean, the thing that sets this thing apart, if they actually really end up making this thing, which I think would be awesome, and it looks like it's a pretty serious project, is like the Atlantis Project down in the Keys. I want to say it's about 50 feet-ish, maybe, if that. This thing, I think they're trying to create this new modular, space station type underwater habitat to go much, much deeper. And it would be a scientific project where scientists go down and literally be saturated divers, kind of like from the abyss.
It's going to be the coldest water around.
Who cares? It'd be like it's art imitating life, or the vice versa there.
Actually, I'm looking at it. It's interesting. They look like they're just round circles attached with piping. They do look like Habitrail.
Yeah. Yeah.
I bet Dr. Doug could give us an insight because he does all that compression compression tank work.
He would have no clue on this, but
okay.
No, he Never might. Mind. I have no. It's being done over in the UK too, so probably we may have to check in with Roz from the UK. She might know.
Mm-hmm.
But I have no idea how far along they are with the project. But it looks like it's a pretty serious idea that's being worked on. And it'd be kind of cool if it comes to fruition. We'll see what happens. Something to watch.
It looks expensive.
The other thing I wanted to tap on today a little bit was there's an announcement that these guys from a few months ago, or actually it happened like a couple of years ago, where some shark divers off of Jupiter had they pulled up some long line fishing nets, or not nets, but a long line fishing line that had a bunch, like 10 sharks attached to them. Like there were some tiger sharks. I mean, big animals. They came across these, And like, what is this longline fishing doing off the Jupiter coast here? And they called law enforcement. They called Florida Wildlife, and they said, we don't know what this is. They called from the boat, and they finally said, well, heck, we got to do something. So they pulled up some of the lines and released the sharks. And, they were saving them. They thought this was illegal fishing.
Oh, they were
operation.
Alive?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
Well, it ended up, it was a scientific research project that had been licensed to take place. And next thing you know, these guys who, they've turned themselves in. They called, when they came across it, they called Marine Patrol and said, hey, we've come across this. This doesn't look legit. This looks like illegal fishing, and we want to do the right thing. And they said, we don't know nothing about it. So they saved the sharks, and they ended up getting arrested and threatened with, they got convicted. They went to trial.
Seriously?
Yeah. And they literally just got pardoned by President Trump, of all people.
Oh, so this was a federal crime that they said?
Well, yeah, it was.
Yeah, but
federal waters.
But they should have, notified it. They should have notified FWC and all these other people that there's this project going on.
They didn't know anything about it. That was the thing.
That's the point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how
those lines are supposed to be marked with buoys and information on the buoys.
Well, there wasn't enough, or these guys didn't know what it meant. And when they called, wildlife, they didn't know about the project. It was going on.
Were they divers? Were they down there?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
They were shark divers down in Jupiter. It's pretty popular down in that part.
I got you.
Of Florida. And the guys literally they went to trial, which is mind-boggling that something like that, like you said, Barry, it's kind of bizarre that they would even go after them. Obviously it was a mistake. They didn't mean to mess up the science project. They didn't have any idea that they were catching, big 10-foot, 12-foot tiger sharks for research off of the Florida coast there.
At the same time, though, you can't leave the sharks just on a hook on the bottom. They're not going to survive.
Well, that's why they released them. So they pulled in the line and brought the line in and released the sharks, and they ended up being convicted, and it went to trial, and they literally got convicted. Even the judge is quoted as saying, like, look, this is insane. This should never have been filed. Why are we here? But supposedly, when the trial took place, the judge had no choice but to convict them because they were technically guilty of doing this crime.
They didn't go to a jury trial?
I don't know if it was a jury trial or what, but they had no choice other than, according to the story, of being convicted. And literally Trump, of all people, that's what's bizarre about the whole thing, too, when you think about it. It's like, Trump came in and saw the absurdity of it, and he pardoned them. So they got a full pardon for it. And, I don't, you get
but that still cost them a lot of money.
Oh, of course. I'm sure it did. But the fact that, this even went to trial in the first place is really a head scratcher.
Yeah. And who's the group that put those lines out there to begin with?
I want to say it was I don't have the story in front of me at the moment, but I thought it was like a NOAA thing. Like it was like you said, Barry, Casey, I think it was the feds that were doing some kind of science project, or they were trying to do something about sharks. And
that just seems wrong in
so many ways.
Okay, you screwed up our science project, but we can reset.
But of course, there's going to be sharks on the line. It's like, they put bait on it. What do they expect?
Well, they were trying
to see if sharks are affected. Yes, they are.
Well, I think they were probably trying to catch the sharks for a specific reason, to conduct study on those sharks.
It's
retarded.
It was NOAA, okay, according to Jerry. But yeah, it's just ridiculous, and the guys are pretty excited that that
charged them with theft.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's you cannot touch a Florida lobster trap if you're a diver. You can't touch anything, fishing line, any of that kind of stuff is. You see some.
Done that.
You got to be very, very careful if you see, any kind of fishing stuff in the sea.
Yeah, you can't touch it.
Yeah, I mean,
even if it's a ghost trap, you have to do ghost traps only when the FWC is there, or giving you permission.
I mean, you can call them in for sure. That's what you do, and let them deal with it, but don't touch them.
Mm-hmm.
Do not touch it.
You might think about it, but don't do it.
Yeah. I mean, but call Florida Wildlife Commission if you're in Florida.
If you find a ghost trap, which means there's no line, no markings of any kind,
you still got to be real careful on that.
Fish.
Well, you still got to be careful about that too, because
don't touch it.
I mean,
that was
you do. It's better to call your local Marine Patrol and say, "Hey, mark your GPS, tell them where it is, and go do it."
What you're supposed to do is call 1-888-88-SCUBA.
No, that won't help at all. Chances are you're going to end up in jail and need a pardon by the whatever president is in charge.
Which you will ignore.
Right.
Yes, true. That is true. But anyway, it all worked out for those guys. So I guess all is good in the long run. So
CJ, Buford T. Justice.
Yes, thank
you. We need
you.
to have President Trump's 800 number in our pocket.
Okay. Well, Casey knows people. Maybe you can bribe him with a cigar.
I'll get you a business card.
All right. Fair enough. Okay, so on that note, we're going to wrap it up for this week. Till next time, remember, it's always better where, gang?
Down where it's wetter.
Safe diving, everyone.
Around to Jock Gusto. They all love Scuba Radio. On the boat or down below if you want to stay in the know. If you be pressurized there, you'll want to be there on Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio is a production of Overboard Entertainment Incorporated.
Scuba Radio. This seems the logical place for fish to congregate.
Remember, you can listen live or to archives of past editions of Scuba Radio worldwide over the internet at ScubaRadio.com.
So we're in international waters?
Indeed so.
Tell a friend and buddy up with your radio every week for Scuba Radio, the world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Well, it's all very nice here, but we should be going. I miss me wife and me oxygen.
Yes, we all miss our loved ones and gases. Let's go.
The opinions you just heard on Scuba Radio are those of the hosts, callers, and guests.
Okay, what I just heard? Blah, 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 blah.
They are not necessarily those of any station or network, its management, or advertisers.
Come on, quit yanking me.
Scuba diving does involve risk and should never be conducted without proper instruction and training.
Oh, what's the worst thing that could happen?
I could die.
Have any questions or comments? Feel free to do so via the web at ScubaRadio.com.